It's the wrap up, and we're back with another episode. You know what? Last episode, as Bengiwan, Implement Landmark, it was a great episode, but hey, today I'm feeling at home. Hey, my man is back.
Yeah!
Shining armor in the building.
We're back with another bang of a show, man. Fans, I missed you too, dog. I missed you too, man. I'm here now.
So sad when I sit here alone and I'm asking questions and manje, I'm like, where's Shining Armor to add some context to this,
Yeah. Here I am. And at this time in Putile, my favorite, we got a dope ass show today. We're taking you back into time again, and making you guys understand the history of hip hop, where we come from, what we were doing when we were growing up, and what initiatives we were doing while we were doing these things. So, man, I'm taking you back to 1808. If you know the session, you're about to meet the guys behind the session. The history.
So we're hoping y'all are ready.
Show, or one of the first dope shows in Soweto. I think it's correct.
And before we get into it, right? I want everybody to click like the damn video. And please subscribe, because there is a lot more coming.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're about to see is a first for Life Soweto, because we're documenting the history. Chance.
Oh, where? That's good. Put up.
Hey, the truth is, I've been hearing about this for a few weeks. I've been so excited. I'm going, hey, at least I'll meet the guys, and know the guys that have put on one of the most amazing shows we've seen, like Soweto,
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the worst thing I'm talking about media is we never really got it documented and put everywhere, because it was one of those shows that I want to make sure Sunday guys sit down,
Let's cut.
So my biggest thing is, back then, sessions were not big. We knew there was one or two. How did you guys come up with the concept and say, hey, okay, sharp, this is what we're gonna do now?
First, like Shining Armor says, we were around 18, 17, somewhere there.
Yeah.
Majority of us, Mr. Scale.
Sure.
My nigga was still in Pretoria Tech.
Yeah.
And I had just finished off my matric.
Yeah.
So going into first year, but I needed to upweight my schooling.
Sure.
So I decided after a year, 2 years as a Pitori, I went to Pretoria to go live with them. So I also enrolled
True meaning of a backpacker.
You know what I mean?
Put it on, let's go.
And funny enough, it was Kuleka Sediwan.
Sure.
Literally, in California. And we were just sitting at our flat. California people. Yeah. California people.
Okay.
So it just so happened that it was almost school break now in Pitori.
Sure.
Some of our friends, everyone that we did 1808 with initially. But I fled in Stagi or Sepaya, and we there's already the Slaches, and they were like, nah, man, we need something,
Sure.
And sessions were just popping off, And P and G were the actual brain masters or brain child. Concept.
Let me tell you what happened. So in Pretoria Tech, it's TUT now.
Yeah.
So we're there, it's dope, we're students, Black Label, we are Ukraine. Only a session that, but it's funded by the school, Okay. So the sound is dope, the place is dope, the mics are dope, the people are spanago camera, I'm a student.
Yeah.
The session layer ends our same. Marekasi, we don't have these things, but we are exposed to them for some reason. But just care. But as now, we don't support that. And we frequent Abu Slaches, Abu Splash Chain. And we realize we care.
Sure.
Because Majitina see, Iskela say supplemental session.
Yeah.
Man, must figure Kasi. I must figure I'm fine. I don't want to. But you know what used to happen.
Yeah.
You get there, you're trying to rap, you might
problem with the mic,
problems with sound, stage,
the audience themselves.
Yeah, all over the show. And the amount you pay, I gonna stage. Umuntu magathi uyarecorda so ngicamera kunabantu so amakhanda avelile.
Yeah.
Yabo kumele lokhu ba chiefisa nani. There were many challenges. So
us being exposed to a different way of doing this thing, right? We decided to go man. And like siplomile siyaringa yabona. Omunye athi mntwana mara asingayizama yazi. Yabo. Sishayi. Hayi, asabangena, you know? And so it started. And so the next thing we knew, we were going around hustling this, hustling that, printing, don't. When it happened, it was wow because the place that we got had a natural stage. It was elevated.
Yeah. I remember that.
There was that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So we started prioritizing the MC, right? That's what we did. The MC, cordless mics, we were the first. Like, as a grand, stage, amalighty. Okay, let's cash it in the Nyana. Very dope. MC Sebegada. So that's how it became a bit different, a bit special, right?
Sure.
Our shit was we create a stage. That was us. That's why a lot of niggas still don't know us.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's
but
true.
Tina CC platform, like you guys are a platform right now, right?
Yeah.
There's us today, next to Kimang, next to Kimang, next to Kimang. That's all we were. And we did it and it was dope. But unfortunately, life, Melissa Spana, you know how much work is in this, right?
True, yeah.
Span.
But now we were not earning shit, young Tola. So at some point we had to I see your Spana, your Tesha. Unfortunately, by the time it started to pop off, most of us had already lost patience with this thing because
Hey. Every Sunday,
yeah. So that's how it started. It was just a need that came from us attending other shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. When our shows were grand, but there was always a space for improvement, and there was no one to take that hat and say, yeah.
This is what it is, yeah. So one of those things we always want to get into is the challenges, and on top of that, what sort of challenges did you guys get when you were building this thing? We know the challenges of actually putting things together, but in all truth, what sort of challenges when you started? We could even speak about the first 6 months when you guys are going. What did you guys face, and how did you get over those challenges?
Look, Faz, the challenges will always be there. They remain being there.
Yeah.
One being our community.
Sure.
We never experienced any difficulties in the community.
It's interesting you say community.
Yeah.
Now I want to dwell on that because you know when you have an event, obviously you have to make it community friendly.
Most
so
definitely.
what about the community said to you guys, hey, I want to know my time?
So the initial thing that we did, we basically library.
Yeah.
So we did a petition. Abomama bethu, abantu basekasi, local businesses, Ispaza, you know. We did that petition, Sayisa, PCC, by approve.
Sure.
So we already had the backing of
the
community.
Yeah.
Secondly, the standard extension code out here.
Yeah.
Abaya!
Plus the celebra.
Abaya, I think we would have 6 or 7.
You couldn't connect at the library?
No, we couldn't because the
building, yeah.
So, come out here to A1, Bogne Crutch. And she's like, no, Sidi, so you know what? Each time you guys do a session monthly, just buy me something or pay my electricity for the day, then you guys can frequent as much as you want, you know? So that was the initial one. Transport was also a problem. P was the only nigga with a ride by then, with danger. I think three and more. One of our friends more. So we would literally divide and conquer. Omunye uzolanda isound, omunye uyothenga igawulo namapiya. Abanye baya set up. Omunye kushota ini yemaponya thola into kanje and so forth, you know. So with that being said, we experienced a lot. And it was a free show, local. It was a free show.
Sure.
So we couldn't necessarily...
Not getting anything at the game.
We're not getting anything out of it. So literally, se save imali yetu yaskela, iyokrea, ore, leading kadime tutli para kita wabona. Because sound was funded by us. Everything was funded by us. Itende was funded by us. All those things. So I don't know if you want to add in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, remember what the show was called, right? I'm answering your question of how we got the community behind us.
Yeah.
Right. If you are from Soweto, your postal code starts with 18 something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? So our show was called 1808. It's our postal code, Gaslet.
Sure.
So everybody who knew that postal code knew which we were putting Gaslet on.
Sure.
So by that alone, we knew which would get the support Lasakas, you know?
Yeah.
Remember there was a group called 985.
Yeah.
That says the groove, right? That's the telephone code we are calling, right? So we went the 1808 code. So already Abantu Basekas knew which were about Gaslet, right? Putting it on the map. That got us a lot of support. EPCC took us on as a local group. EPCC is the People Community Center. Okay. You guys have Triple C, I get it here. Yeah, we had PCC. So they took us on as a local group. That meant we paid no electricity, we paid no rates, we paid nothing. We just came in there as long as we guaranteed them we were not there to make a profit. Okay. Right? Abantu that's why we bank in a right? Yeah. So Mara, we had to make money somehow.
Sure.
Somehow. Yeah. So siyazi plate yahamba ngithola ukuthi kumele sibhayise badala side. Yeah, but as soon as we show your community ukuthi this thing was for them, right? A lot of rappers from Pimville came through that thing, and a lot of them made it. Kunabantu ababhaya who started there. Hell, the truth is, we used to pay for reasons transport. What reason? So I'm a cab
From a force.
from a force law, simlande maybe South Gate, makahamba, siyamhambisa either ngekara yami or simgayi akuna Uber lesa sikhathi.
Yeah.
Mele simvayisa urizini, akusuya ayi-1 urizini. Abantu baphaya abanye
And akaphopi leso sikhathi.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of cats like that. Like the reason uzokutshela mfana ayi thina besemncane besemlanda. Yabo. And manje we had an issue with our crowd. Our crowd was influenced kakhulu ngabo Matuma. Abo Matuma bebama bapusha imiddle finger to the crowd.
Yeah.
And which was one of the sounds we wanted, but we didn't want it to dominate.
And those guys were there every week.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's
No
no
doubt.
support applied.
Yeah.
No
There's
doubt.
support, and we liked it, but we just didn't want their sound to become our identity. So that's why this we saw about reason because rap.
Sure.
Rapper ngesitoka or rapper ngani thina sigay platform. That's why we had this guy who
Johnny Plays.
Johnny Plays became big. He was a song, the first song a rapper I knew. Right?
Yeah.
And he was big back then. So the community to find just by that name alone, we had a lot of support from around.
Now looking at hip hop, do you think as much as you guys were getting the community to back you guys, did you see an uptake in hip hop in your surrounding?
Most def.
Yo.
Most def.
Even now,
Most
during
def.
the week, kuze amanye ama-chance la ngihlala khona.
Yeah.
Bazofaka ama-post awa-ANC ne-EFF nani yabo.
Sure.
So thina siya-oppose that idea ukuthi we are in a complex. You are not supposed to be putting up these things in a complex.
Yeah.
So this guy says mani man wena yazi mfethu uye wasi-entertainer man yabona ngithi entertainer ngani ngikwatile la 1808 yabo.
Yeah.
So people from Ekasi namanje, I'm in the mall, they're telling me about 1808.
Yeah.
I'm driving around the scale, I say, 1808.
Sure.
I mean, it's
That
the
thing
mark.
is still...
It's a mark. You guys made a mark at a time when hip-hop, hip-hop and rebattle, we looked for hip-hop.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then
Wasn't
now
easily
there was
accessible.
spaces,
Yeah.
there was gaps every weekend being closed down. From Dungeon Shack to Splash Jam,
Yeah.
you know, and then you guys came in and closed it. I think it was on the third Sunday?
Second Sunday.
Second Sunday.
Every
Yeah.
second
You know,
Sunday.
so all the weekend camps were just being closed
Yeah.
very properly. Now we can move from DK
From this place to another.
Yeah.
you know, which made it all the more vibrant. Now my question is, Kawana Full Skiller at one point was a host. Was he the first host or it was you and Ayanda?
It was me and Ayanda. What happened with Uful Skiller?
Yeah.
There's also
Spook.
Spook. There was
Yeah,
also
yeah.
Spook,
He
right?
came at the Southgate, from the Southgate. Yeah.
So what happened was, relevance is important on the mic. I'm told. You need people who are able to talk to people without being personal about the things that are going on the mic.
Yeah.
That's the reason why some chiftisa kancane, because there was a thing Soweto versus
Asylum
Asylum
trial.
trial.
Yeah, I remember
Yabo.
that. Yeah.
And so you cannot have a full skiller, a controller issue. Biased, I'm told. But the reason why we kept on changing our host was, Tina, we wanted to put these little kids up so that when we left, because we could see which we were going to leave the show. That's how the Southgate thing happened.
Oh.
At that time, I was just a fan.
Yeah, because when you guys came back with the Southgate, you guys had a break at some time.
Yeah.
There was some-
So due to the cause of that break was us being PCC,
okay.
but based on lack of evidence, lack of anything.
Okay.
So remember that we are a show for the community.
Sure. Yeah.
And unruly. Some people would smoke, not drugs, but weed. Especially the people that were actually holding down Forte, PCC,
Yeah.
the managers and so forth.
Yeah.
So it came to a point where we started being smart about 1808 in terms of getting revenue. So remember, it's a free show. But myself, Pahludi, Danger, Zenzo, we were like, no man, Angie, we need something that's gonna pull a crowd, keep them coming. But when the crowd comes, it means we've got numbers. Numbers translates into sponsorship. Sponsorship translates into money for us.
Yeah.
So we started doing awareness drive, a CSI drive.
Yeah.
We had 4, I think. So first quarter to the last quarter, Jan to March, we did something called Don't Be a Fool, Stay in School, where we would literally collect books. Books as in good condition, something that you would also like to read, you know?
Yeah.
So for the first 3 shows, the entrance yakho, instead of money, was one name one.
Yeah.
We donate it back to the library because sispanela khona.
Yeah.
So already says by a community, spayela labantu, you know.
Sure, yeah.
And it sponsor the
very
likes of
smart way of
exclusive
doing
books.
it, yeah.
The likes of exclusive books came on board. Juta, you know, they did something. Either they handed out cash or baskaya inward or whatever.
Yeah.
But we tried to make something for Gasle to PV library.
Yeah.
Because I mean I was still a student by then.
yeah.
So Manyo Kelez, I am picking up with some books in here. So if I'm struggling, what about the next kid?
Yeah.
You know? Then we had April to June.
Yeah.
We've got June Yaban. We did a drive, a clip down.
Okay.
So it's a clip down youth center where we collected clothing now.
Okay.
They say no winter June 16. We go to clip down Subashai Sopo, Subakada in Flezo.
Yeah.
Alice Keep Soweto Green was between September. So we literally plant
You guys were innovative.
You know what I
You
mean?
guys-
We literally
we did a lot,
like we did a lot.
For me, it's a first. It's a first for a event or a session to actually think outside of just hip hop.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Abana Lentoshoi, there are a lot of big events now
Yeah.
who existed because they came to our show and they were like, shit, we can do things like so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Right? Don't want to mention names, the outside to any
Sure.
case. So we had a slot, right? Nathi sibone kwabanye abantu. Sathi no, singayikhuphula sibeke la.
Yeah.
Other people
Sure.
came to us and they saw the same thing. Ukuthi no, we can singayikhuphula sibeke la.
Yeah.
So Tina, when we go to these sessions, even today, we're getting free in most of these sessions. They're like us. About PB 80, now my check going buffet. Because not to put our pass by this scale, what we did at that time
Influence what is now.
influenced about yaba sensitizer to the fact that we can do this shit ourselves, right? So we go to all these places, I'm a chance I ask for hotel and we are happy about that because it means good to the kids who are looking at this right now. But okay, Nati, we can do this.
Yeah.
Okay, nama chance lawa like us. And if you see someone from your hood doing this, now you think to yourself,
You believe.
True.
Yeah.
But Tina, we had the good fortune of going out of a gas
Okay.
and
yeah.
coming back to say, "Hi man, sungabangela."
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys can do this now. Like,
Look at the entertainment game manje la TV production. It's 90% white people abayenza a post-production.
Yeah.
You won't get those skills for free like us. There isn't a place where you can go uhambe you shy video editing or sound editing.
Yeah.
It's careers people don't know exist. Careers people don't know pay.
True.
Right? But if Tina Kona manje sibane behind the scenes show, like I think you guys should do that one day. Just ukuthi kuno cameraman kuno it's like us, you know.
Sure.
Abantu bayibona right ukuthi you start to sensitize kids ukuthi hi man.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
That's what happened with us.
You guys were innovative. Like in the game, when I look at you guys, the moves that you guys pulled off, from the session being free, all the sessions were free.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where you guys started charging.
Yeah.
And you guys were the first, if I'm correct, you guys were the first people to charge at the session. Now I'm thinking to myself, how do you guys get to now removing yourselves from that whole, already it's a culture of free this, free that, and then you guys come, put up fences now, there's posters now. Then I'm thinking, hey, my face says I think little come some guy, they tag of a chop.
Five rand.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, now we're getting charged at shows. Now you gotta think about how you move now. What pushed you guys to start saying, nah, you know what, because you guys are the first. I honestly am still saying like hope let's get half I go splash before load.
Look, Shining Armor, it's really simple. One, running cost your show.
Sure.
Two, profitability. Now remember, and shout out to the Mukeli brothers because they actually did our first year in terms of flyers. You know? And we would literally go to the niggas like, yo, we need a flyer, we put this person, but what rap. They do it, graphics, send it to us. We need to go print it. Printing, money.
Sure.
Definitely. Then we go to all these sessions. Sunday, re-8 or 6, then we literally hand those things out. So, Slakis was at the end of the month. So, flyer. Now, that's how we promoted it. Then Facebook came along. Then it was easier. We did away with the flyers because we could post it digitally now.
Yeah, you
know
get
what
to
I mean?
people now.
Exactly. So with that, we were like, nah, man. Mara sound in feature. Then have a 1.2 back then.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
Mara, our idea was, like I said before, the MC was for Rona.
The most important
person.
Yeah.
So if Zokaya, he might a grand, I4, a cordless, when an Epraza needs a performer, that should cost money, right? A stage, they say, essentially our makeshift stage, you know. We have people who sold the content age and made documentaries international because of the setup position. Okay, it's there, go right, but we had to pay for certain things. So we felt which it was not fair. The reason why 1808 Apena was because we were spending too much from our own pockets, right, to make the show
alive.
And I mean, if we don't get sponsor from somewhere, and in Alice they said these Schengen countries, these sponsorships, and I'm arts, hey, people don't want to sponsor arts. I don't know why, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, in Alice you couldn't make money from social media. You couldn't make money from YouTube.
You were still understanding what was going on.
Exactly.
If we could, if we knew, if we had infrastructure, if we had fiber, if we had 4G at that time, right, we would have killed it. Would have, I don't think
hip-hop would still be strong.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? I'm looking at hip-hop now, and it's that space, the bubbling down under space of the next MC, it's dead.
My thing is, I want to ask that question, Oguti. What do you think is the state of hip hop at the moment? And I'm not talking about, obviously, we're speaking about the guys that are still coming up. Entirely from the top down.
Hip hop is dead, though. It's dead. It's dead. Let me be man.
Yeah.
And the reason why hip hop is dead is because of that space lines hands. So sure. The next talented kid, Mara Leauti is an MC. But I rap. And if he does, do well is the market corner now. Are people buying hip hop on SoundCloud or on iTunes, right? People are not buying hip hop. Mara, it takes one Kabza the Small when rap change is seen ukuthi kuyele back to hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no piano 2 years ago. Bekhona nyana abo MFR souls abantu bade.
Yeah.
Asibanaki. Uyangithola uTiro ufikile wenza into yakhe. This boy put in work for 10 years or 5 years until he blew up.
Sure.
Kwathula yonke into. Now that boy oyenza leyo nto we hip hop khona manje uva. Uperforma.
I mean, the culture is still there, Fez. The culture is definitely there. However, like to echo what Patludi is saying, trend and versus culture, two different things, you know.
Sure.
And if you don't have some sort of platform to showcase your talent, either you switch it up or you find the next best thing.
Yeah.
So from the top down.
So what did you just say guys need to do right now? I'm talking about the young guy, the Kabza that you're talking about that needs to come up. What do you think they need to do in order for them to start changing the outlook of the game and really bring back the culture or bring back even the sound, hip hop, you know, so people recognize and say, actually, it's still alive?
You know what I think, Minane?
Yeah.
When I'm a tiny desk, the space I'm a session, we did them back then.
Yeah.
I'm a tiny desk in spaces like this, right? I'm a tiny desk concert. Put an MC on, the next MC, the next. That's for me now. That's the future.
Yeah.
There's someone on the camera, on the sound nyana, because if you create a session, you are creating content. You make money from that content online.
Yeah.
And exposure. You from that. I'm a tiny desk applied. Do the next guy who's out there who's thinking of do that space.
Sure.
It's not expensive. I'm camera too. I'm a mic. Abantu aba committed.
Sure.
For me, those are sessions. The new school sessions.
New
That's
school
what
sessions.
I think needs to happen now.
And I think because with the internet, they are able to have staying power.
Yeah.
Of course.
Once you start there. In 2 weeks' time, I can catch up to an MC.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay. Unlike before you had to go to the session.
You miss it, you miss it.
You don't know what happened. Don't know Mbazo and say
Exactly.
Hey, Mbazo came out. You know, and then you have to be there in 3 weeks from now and then come check him out.
And you can't find it anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking about missing it, who are some of the MCs that you guys looked at and said it's not to be missed on your stage?
Yo, plenty, dog.
Plenty.
No, plenty.
Look. Let me tell you, from Indaba, it was a busload of people.
Hey!
Bro,
Hey!
there were plenty talk. I went with us, all the MCs. I used to carry an exercise book, so
Yeah.
and the first thing I'd say, man, Ali show, the book is open. Come put your name down. What would happen is I'd have 70 names.
Sure.
And each person made a 2 joints.
Yeah.
That's about 12 hours. So I had to make sure ukuthi crowd yami manipulator ukuthi umuntu ongekho mnandi. Don't allow that person to just motion this crowd.
Yeah.
So the crowd yami bengiphethe grand hayi lapha bebaguba.
And the fast.
Especially lezi ezingqanyuka rap ngesigabula kakhulu.
Yeah.
Yabo mawunga interact in the crowd once you lose that thing of making the crowd with interaction now you're screwed.
Yeah.
Very fast. So we had so many people who were dope, dog. Like Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy was a rapper who was never ever gonna have a name without that session.
Sure.
But he became big. Irapa ngeshangane so implying amahukwayo
A cage.
cage. Then of course we had Abo. We had a lot of people, man. We had a lot of crews. We had Abo MV who'd come from Pretoria, you know,
And kill it.
The
Anvils. If you still remember the Anvils. Yeah, they killed it.
And then we had ama battle sessions where these niggas would kill each other because Osmic wanted that part.
Yeah.
And Osmic could make sure. I'm sure they've got many memories of them killing each other on the mic, young tall. And back then, there was something being irritated because there used to be battling, and back then there was still that space where you battle from the dome.
Yeah, freestyle battles.
Freestyle battles.
Yeah.
That thing went away. I fought Naboli, Aboli, Ulikasum.
Yeah.
Because I once took a boy there and Satola what do you come on,
Thomas.
Thomas came with written raps in his head, I'm told, to battle. And for us, the purists, we wanted it off the dome.
Yeah.
It's
Pure.
And then you can see a
I'm
person
told.
who kicks from the dome.
Exactly.
You know, we
And
can
yeah,
see,
you can
right?
see it, yeah.
So Tina, we came with our boy, Bambu shoot it down. Good to know. That's not battling. And this is how radio killed hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, they told us what they wanted. Melos are with the written, memorized.
Memorized script,
Uti 16 years or 8. Maqeda bese uya freestyle kancane 2 bars.
Yeah.
Maqeda ubuyele to the written bese uya freestyle kancane.
No, my question is as much as you're saying it killed the culture, and I wanna look into that, because I then say, how do you rebuttal if you're coming with a script? Because already this thing is scripted and you're going to say it on the next round or the following round. And battling for me personally, it's rebattling. If you're gonna say this, I'm gonna hit you with something that you've just said, and then I continue whatever I'm doing.
The most successful battle MCs, even in the States, Konamanja, abantu who can, your green t-shirt, don't.
Yeah.
Now, right? But la MZansi, the people who get the jobs are people who are not heads.
Yeah.
There are people who went to Boston,
They're pushing paper.
Basically,
Yeah.
paper,
You know.
Atola Span. So they decide what their people want to listen to, or they look at what people are listening to, what people want, and then they don't understand Gucci. They change the game. This is something I've always said, Gucci. You know, abantu who are journalists, who have got a big responsibility in the sense of which they control a feeling.
Sure.
A social.
Yeah.
The social
True,
feeling.
true.
Right? You have a responsibility with that mic. But if I say, hey daughter, hip hop is work, I'm interviewing you, and man, I'm taking you towards that direction.
Yeah.
I'm projecting my opinion on you. So man, instead of saying what's the state of hip hop, you know, hey, hip hop is work.
Yeah.
Already saying
yeah.
Aboli, I mean, how does Oskiro end up running a hip hop show?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about is obviously so much respect to Oscar, so much respect for the work he's done in the music industry.
No doubt.
But you look at somebody in hip hop is not a genre. It's a culture. So there's certain things you do, there's certain, ways you move around hip hop, and understanding the respect and the knowledge of self and all of that. So one thing that always hits me, and I'm trying to understand, is hip hop is beyond the actual music, Hip hop is beyond what we're hearing. Hip hop is what we sit down and we discuss, and we really have our heads, share information and all of that. Now, looking at this media, I always was under the impression it's better if you hire somebody who's either been a rapper or been around hip hop, because they mind things differently and they're able to really, play around with concepts. Now, do you guys think, Uchi, that's where we just got killed? Because now you are hiring people that are coming from a dance background. They say a speaker is a speaker. We can't say a speaker is something that's really going to educate all of us,
Funny you should mention that. So after we received a couple of sponsors, we had Power Play as a sponsor. It didn't just take a month or 6 months. I don't know how many proposals I've sent out. So to answer and to add on to your point is, brand managers don't know shit, dog.
Sure.
And when I'm not personally attacking brand managers, but I'm saying brand managers don't know shit. So remember 2006, 2008, it was the prime time of sessions.
Yeah.
True.
And advertising, if you remember advertising by then, TV and radio itself, there wasn't a radio ad that had a rapper. There wasn't something with context to hip hop nyana.
Yeah.
But the minute sessions started popping off, because you send a proposal through to X company, say Coke or whatever, but
as an example.
As an example, and you get rejected. And 6 months down the line, they're doing something.
Similar to you, yeah.
So, to add on to what Patrick was saying, also around the culture changing.
Yeah.
The culture didn't change that much. The industry, all these media industries, music industries, they took it and made it what they perceive it to be.
Yeah.
And shutting us down or taking our voice away. Now, this is what you need to rap about.
Yeah.
Ganjani.
Now you're getting filtered.
Like, this is me. You know, it's my truth.
Yeah.
I can't tell your truth. I don't know it. So to answer you, dog, like, hip-hop is still there. But the people that are running big corporates are not hip-hop. And you cannot do something if you don't have the true passion or heart for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you also don't understand the background, why are they doing this the way they do it?
True.
Yeah.
You know, to echo what Tidis was saying, for Mina, it's simple. If you are Mang Mang FM and you have got 1 million listeners and you take a guy like Oscar, no disrespect, and you give him a hip-hop show, Yasubulan.
Yeah.
Simple, right? And it's not only him. There are a few other hip-hop shows that are not being run by heads.
Sure.
You've got a job, you're doing your job, you must hole, take money home, right? Mara, the waiting asikwazi ukurespecta amanye amajani. Umuntu makathola i-opportunity bathi uzwakala uzospan. At the very least you must take Shining Armor uthi okay ngizophakama no Shining Armor.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mina I've got this opportunity ku grand but I'm having things. Right? I think that Shining Armor azoba la abantu abamqala. But I know ukuthi xa content nami uzongikheleza.
Sure.
So there are so many people who take on these jobs on radio and just
the front,
you know, we need to take on this space and start creating content again. What I was saying earlier on, we record so
beautiful you say that.
It's the best way to go right now.
Beautiful you say creating content, which would lead me to, okay, now we're at this place where we've admitted we are in shambles, we are a mess, we are as entirely as a hip hop fraternity. Now you guys are talking about creating content. Where are we going? Like in terms of you guys, whether it's an 1808 brand or just you guys personally, what do we do next? What do we put out there just to make sure that whole culture that we understand what it was and where we wanted it to be? I'm not saying bring it back to the pinnacle, but at least make it pop up now again and say, look,
salvage it.
Yeah, like guys, this is still.
For me, one thing, advertise the stage, right? We have a stage.
Yeah.
Let the stage be cool. Let kids want to come onto the stage, right? This stage right now, right? If kunontwana nyana esizwayo ukuthi inswembu siyacela ukuthi izwakale nomusic wayo sizoyigaya 1 hour shy, right? Sizothatha isikhathi sethu sizokurecorda, you better be nice. If you're not nice, we don't fly you.
Yeah.
Right? For Mina, let's make a stage cool. A stage like this.
Make it appealing.
That's what we did with 1808. We made it appealing for the MC to want to come straight up and hold that mic. Some people choked. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of that. Yeah. Because Mabafika now. It's hundreds and thousands of people.
Yeah.
So, right? And then here you are, Sekas, right? Mount 1, 2. That
was a scary stage, I won't lie to you. Because it was up there, dog.
Yeah.
And everybody was down there. So, understand, I flop on 20 pools, so. I don't know about it, I don't know. We're high straight, I
So if the stage is cool, dog, people will come. And some as a flop, but most of them as a background. But the danger with that is you might have a lot of digital MCs who don't know how to perform in real life.
True.
That's true.
True. Quite a lot, yeah.
But at least it's something that you can control. We are not going to anyone to ask for anything. Right now is you create a space where you can get paid through adverts, right? ama MCs azodlulana we make it cool. Hits will come out of that, right? We look after hip-hop will look after us. The same way these other people from these other genres have looked after their own space, we should just look after our own space and create the stage for the next MC to come out of.
Now, one episode ago, one person said hip-hop was killed by word on the street. So and to some extent I kind of like agree, because after word on the street, things started fading out. You know?
So
what happened in that space there on the street?
So remember, and I'm sure I can mention that guy's name, right?
Sure.
Ubabsi was Tron.
Yeah.
Cool guy. Approached all of us as sessions.
Okay.
There were 5 sessions involved.
One.
Yeah, no, individual.
Okay.
Sonke.
Into a nice office and
what is Buffett? Guso. So nigga got a huge chunk of the pie.
Yeah.
And then what's kaya? Ya una le piece nyana le
crust.
Yeah, le crust. Yeah.
And then we ended up fighting over that.
You
What's
understand?
Kaya But the crux of the matter is what I said earlier on. A guy from outside knows nothing about hip-hop. When I'm a connection, we figure what funding, Mateta, what rights, we content, wherever he's sitting. That's why Ubona estates, Abantu are fighting for their masters, right? We have content that guy shot. He owns that content, but why charge?
It's not his content.
It's not his. Young Chol. The way he took it, he took advantage of us. Young Chol. So a businessman came who's got a background with music, and he took advantage of all of us. Song.
And then in Nangaka.
Of course.
You know, so when it ended, everyone was looking at each other and who made money from this thing? And then this guy was so cool because Jana was in my meeting. You know when you feed people, badly, they sold drinks. Already our tempers are here. So that's what he used to do. By the time we realized which this guy had this whole content, so Kumama documentary in these Schengen countries, right, with our content, right? We never owned that content. When we signed these little things that we signed, we gave away
our rights.
The rights to the content. Young Chol. Maybe he's
and no, yeah, that's a good fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So, fair. We were young. We were kids. We. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
I didn't ignorance is bliss.
It's a big dream.
I'm mara nyugele mfana na like Corona ne batla o pass out ka nyugele. Ne? It wasn't enough to pass out. Because net cash sound every show.
Yeah.
So ni reach out no nyugele kena re tlo paya di base pinyana tse 2.
Le be le ntho tsa lu.
Top nyana. Monna nyugele kena monna ai pa di base pin tse 2. Wa ntshona. Ha re khone pa empa re khone pa mix re a bona ra no re khawatile.
Yeah.
Because Rona, we knew if we got rid of our cost rate, asizoya fair. But that's the game. That's how it is, unfortunately, South Africa. You trust a black man because this guy is foot in the game, and you think because we touch.
Who you guys are there?
No, listen.
The whole session.
No, listen. No, because now remember, going back to that point, which in a month there were 4 or 5 sessions. You understand? Also, that's already your whole month.
Yeah.
Then it's back to square one. You understand? So for a good couple of years, we had it good. And we had numbers, dog.
Yeah, no,
remember, we had numbers.
Hence that article, any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Remember, any given Sunday meant to put in Soweto on a Sunday.
Yeah,
find a dope hip-hop session. Right? And what article, there's a girl who came over from the Star or
Sunday Times.
Sunday Times. And the review she gave us was crazy, right?
It was dope.
She said she came there and she could hear every MC clearly. She could hear me clearly. She could hear, and she spoke about the other sessions. Which she hasn't been to them, but from what she's hearing, which Mama Sunday.
Is actually happening.
And then she went to quote me, which if you think you can rap, put your name on my page. You understand? Which favoritism, if you think you can rap, right? Bring it on, right? And not everybody made it, but that was the platform. That's why I need to be. My own platform. Some will not make it, some will make it.
Yeah.
But I think in Namanje, that's the future of hip hop.
Sure.
If we want to save it, let's create this platform, let's create the space, and let kids start coming in.
Because it's about the culture, man. It's about, because I was saying to one of the guys in the team that, for instance, we have gatekeepers. And the way I am hearing and thinking about a gatekeeper is a person who's supposed to create activities for whatever position they are sitting in. So if hip hop is not doing anything, we make hip hop do this, that. And then we just came from this whole pandemic and everybody was just dead.
So
Who are sitting up there.
Yeah.
So Shining Armor, remember back in the days the likes Yabo Pro, Yabo Double HP. Those niggas took initiative and they defined what hip hop is. Proverb as well. Boselvin. You understand? I mean, I can take it back to the League Club days, you know what I mean? The Gandhi days. If you think you're a dope rapper, you said it.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I mean, come on. You understand? And also we've lost our not our voice, but our language.
Sure.
Ikasi rap, akasayile ikasi rap leya yabo pro. How Proverb used to rap in vernac, niggas don't rap like that no more. You understand? Sabashile bo Casper, bo Kuli. Kuli is also one of the originators.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But now, because like this is the problem that I usually have, right? You can't be a Jay-Z, for instance, and now you wanna sound like Lil Nas.
Yeah.
Or Lil Nas Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
You understand? Like you
It's a brand.
It's a brand. You set
that's
the
how
tone.
you sound. Yeah.
You set the tone. Why do you want to sound like anyone else? The problem A2 or yama chance are repayo kona bunch is they wanna filter everyone's style in. Meanwhile losing yourself.
Do you think there's a gap there? Do you think there's a gap in the guys coming back and really sounding like I would say sounding like themselves, who they are, guys, you know? Is there a gap for somebody, or even not even someone, a group of people just to come in and say, and like, you know what, you guys have forgotten that this is what it is?
I wanted to say that khona manje bheka ne ukuba rapper is work, dog. In the greater scheme of things, right? Like if you can tell
I would agree. I will agree with you, because I always say that and people don't understand why I'm saying it. You know, but
if you've got a girlfriend and you tell your girlfriend, "Guti boy, I'm a musician." What's up? I not a rapper. How to shop piano? Yeah. Because abantu bayibona ukuthi ingayaphi manje. So yabona mina what I want to say is khona manje ne we need to get to a space where it's not possible for hip-hop to be irrelevant when hip-hop is social comment. You tell me there's nothing that we want to talk about social
at all.
Here's my take on being whack as a rapper. I'm like, you could walk into any space and say, I rap. No one is interested in that.
No one is interested
But even rappers are not interested in rap. But you say, this is who I am, and you rap it. People are like, oh, really? Is that what you like? Is that what you do? So for me, I always say, if you're coming here and telling me I'm a good rapper or whatever, Joe, you're wasting my time. But start telling me, you know, I hang out there, this is what I drink, this is what I do. It's almost like, okay, now you're unveiling yourself. You are not a rapper, you just rap.
You rap. And you know, we must stop taking our cue from the Americans.
True.
Right? Hip hop it now belongs to all of us. They must get their cue from us.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's one more thing. Sorry to interject. Here's one more thing, which I was discussing with a lot of people, is people don't understand what rap is very big. It's huge, right? Not being a rapper, but rap. And I had a discussion about Piano. I'm like, piano blew up because somebody got on the mic and started to rap. And then, you know, we look at rap and we say it's hip-hop. No, hip-hop is the culture. But somebody took a mic and rap on a dance beat, and that's how it just became it
big.
blew up and
Blew
people
up.
started singing, people started doing all of that. But the essence of Ipiano itself is somebody took the microphone and said, this beat sounds nice. Let me rap and tell them about all the fun things we do at clubs and whatever, and not be a rapper, which I'm the dopest, I'm the illest, but like, do this, and he's rapping about all of these things.
It's not that tactical as well.
Yeah.
Because there's a rhyme scheme,
Sure.
there's a flow to
Sure.
it, there's, like, okay, now I'm you understand?
Yeah.
You don't need to make sense.
Yeah.
There's no social commentary on it.
Yeah.
But if you had to take Shining's Armor rhyme book,
Yeah.
like, we have all
True,
so
it gets you thinking.
there's two
Okay.
different
Yeah.
raps, I feel like even poetry poetry I rap like
sure.
grand chap, but it just depends which uthini, what delivery, what sort of messaging are you putting out there.
Sure.
To go back to 1808 le out le rapper ngesishangane
Yeah.
Johnny Boy, one difference is language. But he also had crazy thoughts, that boy. He was like the old Eminem.
Yeah.
If you understand his rhymes,
Sure.
you understand?
Okay.
So that was his style. And you get Abantu Abafana Nabo Reason. Reason used to drop punchlines.
The massacre.
You understand?
Yeah.
He used to drop punchlines. Intwana Gapakud Ukhumelo. Like, you would listen to his track even today.
Yeah.
It would literally make you wanna cry or identify with his struggle. Because nigga was going through a lot of things growing up. Amatrugs, and he put all those emotions in a track. People don't do that no more.
True.
I think the game is so clustered now. Like, it's just noise.
Yeah.
Before, it was easy for us to stand out. because
Exactly.
We were still trying to figure out, the platforms are not there like they are now. Now, anybody can be a rapper and drop a single, and the song gets a drop how much. So
Sure.
now you can't even surf who's dope, because song is keeping and only one.
Yeah.
And
So
it just
much,
becomes
yeah.
it's just class that,
Mara, lento lebo uyisho mntwana, there's something that killed Abu Chaba. Abu Chaba wanted these new school kids to give them credit. Hey, we did this thing before you, so when you come to rap, you must give us props.
Yeah.
To the old school. No, you don't do that. Ayikho la idea. Mawufika uyintwana encane uthola kule rap bese you make it and you stand on your own. You don't need to be mentioning Uchaba. Uchaba, I don't remember him. Uchaba learned his game from Prof, right? Okay. In all his music, I've heard him mentioning Prof maybe once. And then he goes, God rest his soul. It's just an example, right? Intwana encane, they don't owe i-game yakudala anything.
That's true.
Because i-game yakudala kahle gave them very little. Khona manje, what are we giving little boys who are rapping?
Sure.
You come up, you don't know where to go. You don't know how to write. You don't know what content is dope now. I can rap no.
Yeah.
So when you come up, you are a new rapper. You come up and then somebody from a squad camp. Yeah, you're not mentioning us. You're not giving us props. You're not giving us love.
Entitlement.
Oh, entitlement. Banal set of entitlement.
Yeah.
Nobody owes anybody anything.
So, my chance, there's and then I realized that with your evolution or evolve moments in time, you guys started a foundation, 1808 Foundation.
Yeah.
And you guys did something with Power Play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that was based on the foundation but I realized that you guys were more into community work just after the sessions. What is the foundation about? Can you fill us on that and what you guys do?
So, a friend of ours, Zenzo, had recently come back from the UK.
Okay.
During the session, and he proposed a CSI. And I was still studying by then, advertising and PR. So I knew the technicalities of getting a sponsor and how it works and so forth. But he's the one that came up with Group 86, but then we changed it to 1808 Foundation. How that came about, as I earlier mentioned, we used to do some charity work. But being different, we were like, aspecting in community, just ukuthi singayenzi into, sibangumsindo phela. Let's
be hip-hop.
Let's be hip-hop, you know. Like, let's give back. Then, during those sessions, we had moved to Southgate.
Okay.
Go Africa United, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a bar/indoor soccer thing. You know, so we still kept it with the same ideology, PCC, but that space necessarily limited. So we started doing sessions like not as frequent as we used to. So we would skip a month, you know, just to get the logistics and everything. Then I got a call some other time. Keep on. Like I asked Dela, Cherry Yako Media, some media agency, actually a creative agency, off limit. Hi, Tiri, so look, we want to come through and just check out your show. When is your next date? What is this in regard with? No, can I tell you everything? All right, ne sharp and fetu. Date ye zwagala utloplo. I'll fit a leading gamla cherona. Baploma, I but introduce Karen, mang. So let's have a small interview with my chance. Then they're like, okay, cool, we'll call you back. Baploma maybe 2-3 hours.
Okay.
Bavai. Little did we know that they were moving around. Bacheka session, and so forth. And but phone ela ba re kopa tlo prefer as wala nko pleking so ha re fitla la ke bo Kenzero ke Nick ke Andile Dope Store ke Thesis. So there's 5 different entities and everyone on a lead session, but bara rona ba choose this because of the foundation. No one else was giving back. So they labeled each session we are the heart of it, of Power Play, Nebarti Griffin sessions.
Yes.
So that's how Power Play came on board. Then I mean we got the sponsor, Barkaya consignment stock, consume it, whatever, you know. And after each and every session, then we hook up together, we do one session, Barki Griffin sessions.
Yes.
I liked that whole ideology because we needed to put in work to make that event a success. Then we split the money 5 ways.
Okay.
So it was show your road. You know, so that's when we started understanding the nitty-gritty of doing business with corporates, you know, because now you're selling your name. You no longer just it's like session. No.
Yeah,
so now you're doing it with intent
Yes.
of getting somewhere. And I mean, we held on to that sponsorship for 3 years. So each year we did something different. Each year we did something different. It also kept us on our toes. I mean, most of the things that we know now, it's all due to our past, you know. But I mean, it was good. I mean, Nick Head Hancho was part of it. DJ Kenzero, Thesis, Andile Dope Store, and Max Mukhali.
Oh, yes.
Max Mukhali, the photographer.
Yes.
Yeah, so everyone had a different role to play. Max the photographer, Thesis Idiaparo, Nick Lena Idiaparo, but different target audience. You understand? So how Kopansa all those 5 sessions because you bring in your own crowd. You're pulling in your own crowd, you know what I mean? So I mean it was dope. We had the first Griffin sessions go Pass Factory. Pass Factory. It was too dope.
Outside town.
Yeah.
On that tip, can I just say something? When those sessions came about, it watered down what we stood for. Ne? I just want to say there are many people who are responsible for making it who never got the credit that they deserve. So here's a shout out to y'all who never got to be on TV and on the media, on radio, and 1808 is yours, right? there's lots of people.
There's plenty.
You see something like this starts now,
Yeah.
then mhlambe you end up being the face of it. Then I'm a chance.
Yeah, it's like why we
Yeah.
Never appear.
Yeah.
TV interview about radio interview about in. And so we had animosity by
Because
after
of that.
the play, after the play session, because we sele siyithela lapha.
Yeah.
Ngoba lento lezi zisuka kuso siphuza utshwala. Qhumi idea kube right kwenzeke. But mase kumention amagama kumention 5 not 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Literally senekwali
When I was vanilla ngaphandle, you know.
It happened with us. A lot of guys were responsible for doing this thing. There were people who helped us out of the goodness of their hearts.
Sure.
Every show, baswakala,
Yeah.
who were never officially 1808, right? So those people never got that recognition. We play Maizwagala, they had their own little expectation. You know, it's from interview about two. You want to make 2 heroes. You want to focus on.
Because I remember there was Moss and
she.
They had no idea what 1808 was. They wanted what they
back
wanted.
to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Hey.
You find people who are not in the culture.
Yeah.
Just picking the people that they already see that you push.
True.
Yes.
Because the Babanama outputs about expertise.
Yeah.
That's what their bosses told them. Bring me 2 guys, let them be the face of this thing, and Mara kunabantu ababhaya bafaka ispanda ababhaya.
We actually never got to get recognition or credit for it.
Just to get into that, 1808. Who are the main runners? 1808 session in March. Can you just name them so that they feel happy?
Yo, Ripaya,
Yo, how are they?
I don't know it's a song.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm thinking it's a community.
It's crazy. It is a community, you know.
Yeah.
Because
a movement.
It was a pinball thing. How will it us? Whatever Ronald Mangmango playing the graphic. Until Ronald Mangmango playing the spray paint.
Yes.
And so Rona, we knew everyone. All in to something. And we went to them. And all of those people were from Akas. There are too many to mention. Marabayas cover. But unfortunately, they didn't have the space to mention them.
Everyone.
Maratina, what we did is we knew there was a guy who spent on printers. I even forgot that nigga's name.
Because you came by and printed and fly.
For free.
Yeah. And he used to write his name even.
Exactly. And now, mind you, remember, in terms of flyers, I think I'm putting my head on the block here. But we had the dopest flyers. And on class. On class. You know what I mean?
Because of a hookup, there's always somebody there's someone
Yeah.
Just put the word out. So that's what happened with us. When I'm out playing into so and that's what happened.
And then in a fly,
No,
like I don't remember seeing a slack fly.
I don't have too many of them.
plenty.
We had flies.
I remember we went one of the very first sessions we had to give Enzo a fly. And Enzo I bamba the fly. Wabona ubuso bakhe change. Yabo kumele ehoyo on the mic next week. Hey, okay, I remember the story better. Yeah. Kunalaba abasephimbili abayidecision. Bayilahlela le ngithola. Because the plan was dope, you know. And imagine I don't think kunomuntu okhulume naye uthi uzogaya fly. Use stage manje makathi xa
uyayibona la
uyasimaketha yabo uyakwata. So thina sibonile ukuthi no like lesi zoyipush and it appeared as if umuntu sport. Ngoba manje lento le izendekhaya manje nama flyer ine-speaker, nama-cordless mic, into azininyewu. I understand this part sisithunile ukuthi sifike la. A lot of people were angry at us, dog. When we started, abomrap, they were happy.
Yeah. No, we trust. I was happy. Like when I saw a flyer come out, a dynamic. What time are we leaving on Sunday, right? Like I thought after church I'm coming to your spot. Yes, as well. You know, it was exciting. It was exciting. And then the crazy thing about it is that sessions back then we didn't have social media.
No,
it was word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
You had to know this week
is this.
You eventually knew the routine.
True.
Okay, Monday this week we're going there. Next week we're going there. You know, it was just an experience.
Imagine what we can do now. And we will let digital time.
Yeah.
We can kill it. You know, right now we have everything at our disposal without needing our corporates. We can
without moving
ourselves,
anyway.
You know, without going anywhere. So somewhere somehow kunabantu abazohlala phansi ngelinye ilanga babheke ukuthi masingayenza content sayibeka endaweni eso abantu bamayibukela sidla nge-advertising. Simple. It's not difficult to do this thing. Anyone can run with this thing, but it must be for the sake of hip-hop.
Hip-hop, yeah. And then what's next for you guys?
Yeah, where's 1808? And now, what are you guys doing individually?
Yeah.
Look, so
What's up?
It's a bit of a tricky question.
Yeah.
Because before 1808, First Week Brothers,
Straight
like everyone who was involved in 1808, we still chill together. No, we still chill together.
Yeah.
Like Remachense Pili before the 1808 group or whatever hustle, you know.
Time you would think.
Go for it. No, like go for it. And the thing is, we are still moving as a unit.
That nigga was our one-man marketing campaign.
Yeah.
By himself.
Yeah.
Who came out to my 800 show? Tabi knows everyone. So shout out to him, Mara. We owe the game one more show, right?
You guys do though.
Yeah. So we've been.
We are excited.
Eventually.
Like I myself personally, I know Shining Armor and the crew at the back. We're all just like itching. And I'm hoping that you guys will update us when you say this is the date and this is what's going on, so that even the people we know and those that know them, we can all come in and witness again.
No, don't
Even if it's just one more time,
No,
I would love for it to continue.
One
Even if it's just one more
There's one
time.
question that always boggles me. Osmic.
Yeah.
Was Osmic part of 1808 or was he assisting 1808? I like Osmic.
No.
Let me answer this straight.
Yeah.
Osmic ko rata rap mfethu. Lona le rap lona le hip hop. O tlo kopa sipana.
Okay.
O tlile mo rona a kopa sipana.
Yeah.
Right? Di tietsa hae ra. Sense mo re tsa bo mzeto re tsa. Aswagale ra. Mara Osmic ko ngani is do something in a hip hop kama.
Yeah, he's there.
Give his time, right? And he did that for us for free. But problem, he's a strong-minded person. Ali one, and he's not part of the organization. Right? Because he's doing his own things. That nigga is putting the most work in hip hop, right? But we won, right? And this panel the organization it's got the hip hop awards, it's got hip hop.
Back to the city.
Back to the city.
Museum
is building now. Yeah.
Back to the city. Hey dog, this COVID isn't about because we have a lot of big sessions selling already. They were dependent on crowds pulling. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
We hang with the guys back out, from a while back. We hang with Osmi, and these people are people buying the shows across, and these are some of the people who are going to help us with this one comeback show.
Yeah.
The game has changed, dog.
A lot.
The game has changed a lot.
Yes.
So I always make not something because I write hip hop because I want something especially reads as Wagala and unfortunately we had to remove because Osmic Nafisha archives you can't be drinking.
Yeah, man.
Can't be drinking later show. Akwat. And the Rona replay create a real.
Yeah.
One choice.
It's putting out DNA.
One choice.
Against the grain.
It does something for him.
Yeah.
For him. Rona we became creative because we were drinking. Some of our guys were smoking. One choice. So whatever works for whoever, they means I'm going to be creative. We understand the space.
Yeah.
But then like what is talking to Nabona but
and we are putting in the work, and shit is getting done.
And it's been happening.
No, shit is getting done.
Yeah.
Namaja is Spanish, Osmic, because Osmic he's got his own mentality, and Osmic competition. He's one of the persons who, if you want to do something, but you go to Osmic serious. Support, and he'll give you resources, and he'll give you connects and contacts. That's another guy we're definitely going to. So Yeah, kutshwala kancane before
I'm clean. Let's go.
Before we even wrap it up, gents, what would you guys advise the people in the game? Your last 2 cents of encouragement, and where can we catch you if?
So I'm thinking you can touch on the actual MC, because I get the feeling that your heart in hip hop is always looking at the MC. What can the MCs do in order to bring back a little bit of the spark, and also looking at you guys and what you have done, as big as it is. What can you advise young guys that are also trying to get their own sessions or trying to build that and make sure they also bring back that love, that spark?
Look, for me, it's really simple. I'm going to answer it in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
For an MC, stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are. Like, do not compromise. Do not water yourself down.
Sure. Yep, that was another episode of the wrap up. I think today, more than anything, I've learned that, sure, there's so much that we need to learn, and there's so much when you look at people. You can just say, I'm a cheetah host, I'm a event, I'm a cheetah host, 1808. But as you guys speak, I understand where your heart lays, what sort of person you are, and it helps us learn. Not just me, everybody watching out there is also going to take a lesson and take home look, whether you're rapping, you're singing, you're hosting an event, it's something to take out of here. And I appreciate you guys coming onto the show and really showing us, a dynamic that for us it was just watching people on stage.
Yeah.
But there's a dynamic at the back. There's people, there's brains, there's human beings, there's egos, there's entities that are in play that make the success that we stand in front of the stage and watch. Because I wouldn't have thought of that. I just thought, machita plug is out.
Yeah. And in that time, that's how it was. Much up like that vibe fit. Like it's done. We're not thinking of they picking up.
Yeah.
We're not thinking they planning the next show. We're not thinking about all that. As long as we wait for the next fly, like, we got someone to perform,
So
we appreciate
you guys coming and really speaking to us. Now, something that before I close down the show is where do people find you? How do they follow you if they want to either follow the 1808 brand or you personally as the people behind the entire session or brand? How do we get a hold of you? Those who want more advice from you, those who want mentorship. Look, I'm thinking bigger than just the event. Those who want to be in touch, those who want to just be in your space.
Look, the Twitter handle is still available at 1808 Sessions.
Yeah.
The Facebook account is also still active,
Yeah.
even though we haven't posted in a while.
Yeah.
But I think we've got shitloads of members. Well, some of them left because content creation. We haven't been posting things as active. But look, the handles are still there. The group on Facebook is still there.
Yeah.
And personally, most people are saying California.
We've always known how to take advantage of the current times. Okay. When this show that's coming up comes up, they won't miss us. They won't miss us. Trust me, we'll blow up on
it's gonna be like you never left.
It's gonna be crazy. It will be big, ne?
Yeah.
They sizobathola labakhona abantu, right? And sizo invigorate lama handle lawa wonke.
Yeah.
From Facebook to Twitter to Instagram. It's not necessary for us to be there right now. We're just trying to see what came happy and our space in this. But socially sizozwakala, and let me tell you something, dog. If your immediate surrounding is not budging to what you want to do, go bigger. Right?
Yeah.
Go bigger. So that's
Wide in your net. Let's go. Let's go.
Into CPE.
Yeah. No.
Episode.
Another one.
It was real.
Peace.
It was real, Kings. It
yeah?
was real.
You know what? For me personally, it's been an episode of learning. It's an episode of really getting to the true nature of hip hop. Not every day do we find ourselves in greatness like yourself. Ourselves. So to everybody watching out there, as I say, do follow 1808 Sessions everywhere, whether it's your Twitter, Instagram, Yonkindao, you know,
Even
find
if
the
you
guys.
just follow and just chill there.
Just follow
Trust me,
what?
There's more
something,
coming. Just
something
be
big
there.
is coming,
Yeah,
you know.
something is coming.
Something big is
Something
coming.
is
Like this video, subscribe to
Straight
it.
up.
We'll also be, you know, sharing some stuff that you guys
Yeah.
want to speak about on our platforms. And you know what? This one episode has been one that is mind blowing to me. So I'm hoping that you guys will bring on your friends, bring everybody. We are one of the guys that are documenting hip hop like us. You know, we don't want to even spread it out right now. Right now we're still sticking to Aman Basekasi that made a difference. But pretty soon you'll see we're going to do quite a bit. You know.
Alright.
So Zogala,
Coming out there.
That's another episode of the wrap up. Thank you to Shining Armor for returning. You know. Pretty soon we'll be going to Sawona Awards, so you and I need to get you know.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
For now, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
We out, y'all.